Hello and welcome in to the Stars in Pars podcast, where this is the show where golf betting meets astrology. Sorry, I am all over the place today. Already off to a great start, as you can tell. My name is Evan. I am your host, and today we are going to go over my astrology picks for the Valspar Championship, as well as the LIV Golf Tour South Africa, as well as the DP World Tour Hainan Classic in China, and also the LPGA Fortinet Founders Cup 2026. So we will dive into all of that very briefly, but before I do that, I gotta be annoying because I'm trying to grow this channel, this podcast. If you haven't already, I'm sure most of you have. Please like, share, subscribe to this YouTube channel, Stars and Pars Podcast. Also on Spotify, follow me there as well, and also please give me a 5-star rating there. Really helps if you've been listening and you've been tailing and hopefully hitting these outrights, because I think we've got 4 weeks in a row now. Please, the least you could do is just help me out, give me a little 5-star review and follow, and also subscribe on YouTube. And if you really want to go above and beyond, find me on TikTok. I do little summary video clips of some of my not my favorite picks, but a few of my favorite picks every week before the tournament, usually on Wednesdays just because I'm so busy. That's stars.and.pars.po on TikTok, but you can just search Stars and Pars. You should be able to find me. So for all of those of you who have already done so, I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you for listening in every week if you've been doing so, and if you're new, welcome. Hopefully you are open-minded to my methodology on how I approach making picks every single week. Like I said, we're 4 weeks in a row at least now of having an outright across, one of the major tournaments, not just the PGA. But I'm in the double digits in terms of outright so far, just for the 2026 season. And if you listened last week, I hope you tailed on Mr. Cam Young, who formerly was known as Scam Young, and he has officially lost the S for the rest of his life because he just won one of the biggest tournaments all year. It's the Ghost Major, as I like to call it. It's pretty much a major. All the best players are there, and it's a tough course, and it's a beast, and you got to grit and grind. And boy, did every single contender down the stretch had a chance, including Ludwig Gobert and Fitzpatrick. But our guy Cam Young, man, I think he started 4 back on Sunday, and I still just had hope, just because of the astrology. And for those who may not understand how astrology kind of correlates with golf, basically astrology is energy, golf is energy, and it's all about the vibes of the day and what's going on. And in astrology, there's things called houses, first house through 12th house, and the 10th house is what I try to target. And you can just Google all this really quickly and have it explained way better than I will probably explain this. But long story short, it's like a career house of like public attention and like reception, and just kind of like just when massive career things happen, such as winning the Players Championship or any of these majors or any championship, a tour championship, any single week on the season. It's a huge career change for the player, whoever won that week. And generally, what I've found in my 3+ years of doing this method is that most of the players who win tournaments, there is some sort of 10th house or first house correlation going on in the sky compared to like their birth chart that they were born with on the day they were born. And it probably sounds crazy if you've never ever dabbled in astrology or anything like that, but ask your girlfriend, go on TikTok astrology. They're going to explain it way better than I can. In my brain, it just makes sense. But if you're here for picks, then tune out all the astrology and I'll get you your picks. Don't worry. But before we dive into this week, I do like to do a little recap of last week to see where we were right or where we went wrong. And so last week it was only 2 tournaments. It was the Players, obviously, as well as LIV Singapore, which is what I dabbled in. I did not have Bryson DeChambeau last week. That was a little bit surprising, personally speaking, for him to win it. I'll dive into his chart. I kind of found a reason why he won. And also, it was just, I don't know. There was some weather stuff going on, and weather's like hard to predict. I mean, not it's not hard to predict. It's like, it can change at any given moment. So I don't really pay attention to all that, but I'll dive into him in a second. But the only thing we really got off the DP World Tour, I missed out all my outrights. We almost had Thomas Pieters top 5. I took him. We were one stroke off. He was by one. Sucks, whatever. We did get Dean Burmester at plus 235 though to salvage a few units back, and also top 20 Anthony Kim at plus 166 for another 1.5 units or whatever. So that was ridiculous. But Bryson's chart, let me read it for you guys. So last week it was a lot of Pisces in the sky, Pisces Sun, Mercury, and Mars, and there was a Venus in Aries, which that kind of makes sense. But the moon transit was Capricorn to Aquarius. Granted, they were playing a day earlier than what the PGA was playing, and that was more focused on the transits for the PGA. But regardless, Bryson's a Virgo Sun, and he's a Libra Moon, Mercury, Mars, and Jupiter. A ton of Libra in that chart, which that's where I find the correlation. He won under Aquarius, and Aquarius and Libra are like two peas in a pod. Like, the way I like to explain it is like, for Libra, Aquarius is like it's their 5th house, and it's just kind of like, it invigorates their passion for things, and also, in my opinion, it like improves accuracy and like aim. I don't really know how to explain that. That's just how I've kind of correlated it. But yeah, so I think all that Libra in his chart was just kind of lit up by the Aquarius. And then he does have some fire in his chart, which that also makes sense. He's a Leo Venus and a midheaven, and it's an Aries Venus right now. So those Venuses kind of, it's like Libra and Aquarius, Aries and Leo, they go hand in hand together. His midheaven is also Leo, which is opposite Aquarius. I talk about opposites sometimes on the show, which is like the 7th house. It's kind of like a mirror that's being held up to you and kind of like showing you where you're at compared to everything else. And sometimes it does give a little competitive nudge, I've found in my time doing this. So, but not all the time. So, that's not why I always target it. But then he's a Scorpio rising, and Scorpio goes great with all the water in the sky right now. It doesn't go good with Aquarius though, and that's where I was kind of confused. But, granted, he had Earth. He's got all 4 elements: earth, fire, water, and air. But the terms of him winning, it was a little surprising, and it kind of was like they were supposed to go to a second playoff, and RT Lee just missed the putt, which his chart was also a little confusing because he has a ton of Scorpio as well. In fact, a lot of Scorpios were popping off last week. Now that I think about it, like Xander and Ludwig Gobert, even on the PGA, and Fitzy has some Scorpio in there. Kind of interesting. But, overall on the PGA, at least we got that one right. So, whatever. LIV, mainly a loss, but we got it all covered and then some on the PGA, because obviously we got the hit on Cameron Young at plus 3,100. So that kind of honestly covered all the losses from LIV. And then it got even better because I took Cam top 5 at plus 690. Amazing. I also took Tommy Fleetwood at plus 255. Amazing. And I also got Sepp Straka at the top 20 plus 215. And we did hit a little 3-man parlay for top 20. We got Tommy Fleetwood, Brooks Koepka, and Cam Young all in the top 20 at plus 1,200. That's like another outright hit right there. And we weren't done yet because I went a little cray-cray on the double chance bets and the triple chance bets. Double chance and triple, it's like, you pick this guy, or this guy can win it, or, any of those 3 guys can win it. And I kind of go off what DK already has set up. They have like set parlays already up for that. And so I took Tommy or Cam Young to win it on the double chance at plus 1,450. Ka-ching. And then I also hit both my triple chance bets. It was Colin, Cam Young, or Hideki at plus 1,025. Another green light. And then I also took Cam Young, Brooks Koepka, or Jake Knapp at plus 1,400. Another green light. That's like 3 or 4 outrights just like that on top of the outright we got. So it was a good week. Let's just put it that way. And then we also even got a share of first round leader. in Sepp Straka at plus 6,200. Granted, it was divided by like 4 or 5 because there was a tie after day one, but that was still a really hefty, win off just like a 1 unit bet. So long story short, we're killing it. And I was also 1 stroke off of hitting Sepp Straka as the top continental European at plus 540. But Ludwig Aubert had him by 1, and Ludwig just crumbled down Sunday, which I was kind of waiting for. Not that I didn't wish it upon him, but like his chart did not make much sense to win under Aquarius. He's got a lot of Scorpio in his chart, some Leo. So I was just waiting for it, and we finally got it on Sunday. And Cam Young just was steady, which is such a Taurus thing about Cam Young. He's such a Taurus, very steady throughout. Didn't get too high, didn't get too low. He had a couple 3 putts here and there. Then he just kind of clutched up at the end, and that drive on 18 was something that I guarantee you will be talked about for many, many years to come, because it was, I think he got like 375 carry or something like that. It was like they said it was like the longest TrackMan length drive, I don't know, like in a while or several years or maybe ever. I forget exactly what they said, but after he hit the water on 18 on Saturday and he doubled 18, I was so mad because I was like, dude, you could have been two back going into Sunday, and he ended up being 4 back. But I think it had to happen, man. Everything happens for a reason. That's kind of how astrology comes into play, is like he hit the water on 18 on Saturday, learned from it, and crushed just the game, the tournament winning drive on 18 on Sunday, because he learned from his mistakes. So all that being said, it was a fantastic week. I hope you all tailed. I hope you had some Cam Young in your cards somewhere, or in your DFS lineups or whatever. So, but yeah, that's pretty much last week. Now I'm going to move on, and I always say this, but I'm really going to try to make this as soon as possible. So I'm going to move quickly on this one. Where are we at right now? All right. I'm going to call it. We're going to move on to LIV. What are they? South Africa this week? Yeah, South Africa. Okay. All right, so moving on to LIV Africa. Actually, I'm sorry. We got to talk about this week's transits first. Then I'll get to LIV South Africa. So, real quick, this week's important actually to talk about, because we're in Pisces season as of now, but come Friday, midway through all these tournaments, the sun does move into Aries, which is my sign, my birth month. I'm excited. Happy future birthday to all the other Aries out there. But yeah, so the sun moves into Aries on Friday morning. This is going to change a lot of things for the next month, at 10:46 a.m. Pacific time. Venus is still in Aries as well, so there's a little boost. And also, not that like it's super prevalent, I don't think, but like Neptune and Saturn are all in Aries right now. So Aries are going to have a massive boost, I think, for the next month. Just a lot of Aries in the sky. Granted, those are like further out planets that have to do more with like a 10 to 15 year long period, or even a 3 to 5 year, 6 year, 7 year period. Regardless, the sun is more month to month, so that's more of like a immediate effect, I think. So that being said, Mercury and Mars are still in Pisces for at least this week. And Jupiter is still in Cancer. So Cancers, in theory, actually get the biggest career boost out of everybody, because Aries is the 10th house placement for Cancer. And they have a Jupiter in Cancer right now, and that's a year-long-ish transit. And there's been a lot of Cancers and Jupiter in Cancer placement guys and girls who have won tournaments in this last year, half year, or whatever it is. So Cancers are really going to be very, very important to pay attention to. And in terms of the moon is in Pisces as of now on Tuesday, and it's going to be there till Wednesday. It's going to be there all day Wednesday, sorry. And then at 12:03 a.m. Thursday morning, so 3 minutes into Thursday, it then shifts into Aries. So Thursday morning, we're going to wake up the PGA. It's going to be a double Aries. It's going to be Pisces Sun, Aries Moon on Thursday, with Pisces Mercury, Pisces Mars, and then Aries Venus. So that's just something to consider. And then Friday, the sun goes into Aries. So it's going to be an Aries Sun and Aries Moon on Friday. Now the moon stays in Aries until Saturday morning at 2:35 a.m. So again, 2.5 hours into Saturday morning when everyone's asleep. Then the moon goes into Taurus for all day Saturday and all day Sunday. So we're going to have a Taurus moon finish, and that's always the most important. Where's the moon going to be on Sunday? As we saw with the Aquarius last week, lit up the career sector for Taurus, which is what Cam Young has a ton of Taurus in his chart. So this week, with the fire, with the water, with everything, I personally believe Cancer's obviously going to have a massive career week because Aries lights up Cancer's midheaven, or like career house. Aries as well. Obviously, there's a ton of Aries in the chart. And then Leo. Leo's the big winner in my opinion. Leo's also fire, so it's going to thrive off all the Aries in the sky. But Taurus is Leo's 10th house. So when the Taurus moon comes in, Leo placements will get the big career boost. And that's what I target every single week for the most part, on top of everything else we consider within the sky, okay? So basically, Aries, Cancers, Tauruses, because their moon's coming in, so Tauruses should have, a good boost. But especially Leos, they get the biggest boost, I think, this week. Gemini still have some career influences as well because Pisces lights up Gemini's 10th house, so still a little Pisces in the sky. And then other fire and earth combos in general, because on the weekend, it's going to be Aries, Taurus, Aries, Sun, Taurus, Moon. That's a fire-earth combination, and other fire-earth combinations will definitely thrive off of that as well. But mainly Aries, Cancer, Taurus, and Leos and Geminis are kind of my plays, especially as well as some Pisces in there as well. There's some Pisces in the sky, and Pisces kind of goes well with everything because they're the last sign, and they have a little bit of everything in them, so that's kind of how that works. So all that being said, Aries, Cancer, Taurus, Leos, Geminis, Pisces, pretty much what I'm going after. So now we're going to move on to LIV. Writing my timestamps for you lovely people. All right, LIV Golf. Let's get into it. They start on Thursday, actually, because they're in South Africa. So they start at 2:15 a.m. on Thursday. So by that point, the moon will already be in Aries, because again, on 12 o'clock, it's going to move into that. What is going on? Whoa. My phone is like recording my words and writing it out. That's not what I wanted. Okay. All right. So they're going to be playing, and they play 4 rounds again, obviously, now, if you haven't kept up with that. But, so there's only like 50 or 60 people. I always try to take 10% of the field or less. I break my rule every so often. I broke it last week, but it didn't matter because I came away with a ton of profit. I'm sitting pretty. You guys got to be smart with your money, your units. You do you. I'm just going to give you out who I like, and you can do with that what you will. I'm probably going to take most of these guys. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 guys out of like, 650, 60? Fight me. I don't care. I'm going to go back. I'm going to go on Bryson DeChambeau this week. I'm going to take Bryson at plus 500. I hate the number. But with all the fire and Taurus and water in the sky still, he has a pretty decent chance of going back-to-back, I think. Especially you win, your confidence is just boosted through the roof. He's a Virgo Sun, Libra Moon, Mercury, Mars, and Jupiter. I already talked about him. But what I like the most about him is his Leo Venus and his Leo Midheaven. That's the big winner this week, is the Leo placement. So if he wins, I won't be surprised. I hope he doesn't, because I have way better numbers down below. The next guy I like in his home country, South Africa, is Dean Burmester. Plus 2,200. Gemini, Sun, Venus, Jupiter, Midheaven. So Gemini still have a good little boost. And Gemini goes really great with Aries, by the way. It's only 2 signs over. It's a good synastry. He's a Taurus, Moon, and Mercury, so his moon is coming in this week. Virgo rising, which is also Earth, vibes with the Taurus. And this is what I really like. Cancer, Mars. Again, Cancers are the ones who are getting big, big career boosts from all the Aries in the sky. I think Dean Burmester having some favorable transits, placements in his chart, and as well as playing in his home country, I think he's got a good chance to win it this week. I also like Carlos Ortiz at plus 2,800. Taurus Sun, Virgo Moon, Cancer Rising, and Mars. Aries, Midheaven, and Mercury. Gemini, Venus. Leo, Jupiter. Jupiter does play an effect of, has a little career boost and career luck in there. You kind of need that, and his own Jupiter will be lit up career-wise by the Taurus Moon over the weekend. I like Carlos Ortiz a lot. Now, this next guy, I always say this and I jinx it, I feel like, might be my favorite play of the week. It's Cameron Smith. Leo, Sun, Moon, Mercury, and Midheaven. A ton of Leo. Sagittarius rising. So much fire. Cancer, Venus. He's got the career boost for a lot of things. Libra, Mars, and a Jupiter. That's fine. Libra's opposite Aries. We talk about opposites being a good placement. Also, Taurus and Libra both ruled by Venus. So I have a feeling that the Taurus does give a boost to Libra. We shall see. But plus 3,500, sign me up for Cam Smith. I also really like Abraham Answer at plus 4,500. Pisces Sun, Mercury Midheaven, Leo Moon, Aries Venus, Gemini Mars, Leo Jupiter. Great stuff in Abraham Answer's chart at plus 4,500. Watch out for him. I also like Jose Luis Ballester. I think that's how you say it. Spanish golfer, plus 5,200. Leo Sun, Venus, Jupiter, and Midheaven. Oh, yes. That's a good one. Taurus Moon, dude. He's got the chart. Watch out for Jose Luis. Scorpio Rising, Virgo, Mercury, Pisces, Mars. Everything's fine in there. But the Leo and the Taurus stuff is what really caught my eye with Jose Luis Ballester. I didn't add him, but I gotta mention Charles Howell III. Plus 5,400. Gemini Sun, Venus, and Midheaven. Taurus Moon and Mars. Virgo Rising, Cancer, Mercury, Leo, Jupiter. I just couldn't get to it just because I like all these other guys better, but I just wanted to mention that. We'll see. If he comes out, you can always throw a live bet on him, but down below, I'm going to call these a little longer shots for LIV because LIV's, again, it's not a very big field, but anything over plus 7,000, in my opinion, on LIV is a long shot. So here are my 3 long shots. Jason Kokrak at plus 8,200. Gemini Sun and Mars, Cancer Moon, Leo Rising, Taurus Midheaven and Mercury, Aries Venus, Aquarius Jupiter. That's the only one I don't like is the Aquarius Jupiter, but Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Taurus, and Aries. He's got literally all 5 of the signs we're looking for. Watch out for Kokrak. I also like Harold Varner at plus 9,800. Leo, Sun, and Venus. Gemini, Moon, Libra, Rising, Cancer, Midheaven, and Jupiter. Virgo, Mercury, Taurus, Mars. That's the big one. Taurus, Mars. So watch out for Harold Varner. A lot of favorable stuff in there. And also Cameron Tringali at plus 9,800. He's a Virgo, Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, and Mars. That's so much Virgo in this man's chart. It's a little worrying, but he does have a Scorpio Rising and a Leo Midheaven. That's the big one. And an Aries Jupiter. So there's a little Aries somewhere in his chart. So we like that a lot. Okay, so Bryson, Burmester, Carlos Ortiz, Cam Smith, Abraham Answer, Jose Luis Ballester, and then longest shots are Kokrak, Harold Varner, and Cameron Tringali. Okay? Top 5, I'm going to go Cam Smith at plus 560. That's just my lock of the week. Not my lock of the week. I just really think Cam should have a good week with all that Leo in his chart. Also like Carlos Ortiz at plus 480. So hopefully one of those guys makes the top 5 to win something back. Top 10, I'm going to go Cam Smith at plus 235 as kind of like a safety net. That should be the lock of the week, but I always jinx it when I say that, so we'll see. Carlos Ortiz at plus 200 is very interesting as well. And then Jose Luis Ballester at plus 325 in the top 10. I think all 3 of those guys could definitely finish in the top 10. Top 20, I'm going to go Dustin Johnson at plus 114. I didn't talk about him, but he does have some Cancer and Aries in his chart, so that's favorable. Also like Matthew Wolff at plus 140, who has a ton of Aries in that chart, and I did write him down originally for an outright, but he doesn't have any Leo in there or Taurus, and that's a little worrying. So I think Matthew Wolff could come out and have a solid first day or 2, and then play solid for like the 3 or 4. But is he going to win it? I don't know. We'll see. I'll be upset if he does. So DJ at plus 114, Wolff at plus 140, top 20 by the way. Cameron Tringali at plus 158, and Lee Westwood at plus 210, who actually I jumped on last week when he was playing really well because I realized he had a ton of Taurus in his chart, and he ended up finishing in the top 5 to like T3 or like 3rd or something like that. So he could have a good week again with all that Taurus in his chart, but we'll see how being in contention last week affects him this week. He's kind of older, so we'll see. 3 double chance bets, meaning this guy or this guy can win it. I'm going Carlos Ortiz or Abraham Answer at plus 1650. I'm also going to go Abraham Answer or Dustin Johnson at plus 2400. And then lastly, Charles Howell or Brandon Grace at plus 2700. Both are South African. Actually, I don't know if Charles Howell is South African. I get him and Schwartzel mixed up. But Brandon Grace is South African, and he's got a lot of Taurus and Cancer in his chart, and he's a Leo rising. So if he wins it, at least I'll have something on him because I'm not taking him outright. But I'm going to take him in that double chance with Charles Howell or Brandon Grace. First round leaders. I'm going to go DJ at plus 3,900 because he's in Aries midheaven as well with Oh no, he's not an Aries. He's an Aries moon. Yeah, he's an Aries moon. He's a Cancer Sun, Mercury, and Venus, and that's big time for Aries transits. Okay. I'm also going to go Carlos Ortiz at plus 2,800, who does have an Aries midheaven. That's what we're really looking for. I'm also going to go Cam Smith at plus 3,200 because he's got too many favorable transits in there, including the Cancer Venus with all the fire in there. I'm going to go Abraham Answer at plus 3,700. I've already talked about him. Matthew Wolf at plus 4,400 is really, I like that for first round leader a lot. He's an Aries, Sun, Moon, Mercury, and Jupiter, and a Cancer rising. Everything in his chart kind of vibes perfectly. So Matthew Wolf in the first round at plus 4,400 might be my favorite play of all of those. I'm also going to add Jason Kokrak at plus 4,700 because he does have all the favorable transits we're looking for, including an Aries Venus. And also Harold Varner the third at plus 5,300 in the first round because, again, he's a Cancer midheaven in Jupiter, and that's very important with the Leo Sun and Venus he has. And again, first round leader bets are so hard to hit. So I spread like 2 units across all of this. So micro units, 0.1, 0.2 units, etc. Don't go crazy on first round leaders. They're impossible to hit. All right. So that is LIV. We are going to move on now to the LPGA. We are 26 minutes into this. Okay. LPGA. Let's get it. Well, she hasn't played in a long time. The last time she did play, we got the W on her. Nelly Korda is going to be my top play of the week, my favorite play, at plus 610. She is a Leo Sun and Mercury, Libra Moon and Rising. That's good. Cancer, Midheaven, Venus, and Mars. That's the one right there. All that Cancer again is lit up career-wise by all the Aries that's going to happen this weekend, as well as a Pisces Jupiter. It's just good luck. It's good. Plus 610. Nelly Korda, you can single bullet that. I might. But luckily, there is a without Nelly and Gino Thickhole market this week as well. So I'm going to take Nelly in the regular market. I'm fading Gino. I don't think she's going to win. But I'm going to have all of these next picks in the without Nelly or Gino market, just because I really think Nelly's going to win it. Okay. So the first girl I like in the without market is Lydia Ko at plus 1,500. All these are pretty boring, just letting you know. Taurus Sun, Mercury, Venus, and Midheaven. So much Taurus in the chart. Scorpio Moon, Leo Rising, Virgo Mars in Midheaven, and Aquarius Jupiter. She's too good not to have on your card. So, if Nelly finishes 1 and Lydia finishes 2, we'll be happy. The next row I like is Minji Lee at plus 1,500. Gemini Sun and Venus, Virgo Moon, Leo Rising, Taurus Midheaven, Mercury, and Mars. Capricorn Jupiter. Minji Lee has a solid effing chart this week. Also like Hai-Jin Choi at plus 1,600. Virgo Sun, Cap Moon, Scorpio Rising, and Mars. Leo Midheaven, Mercury, and Venus with a Jupiter and Taurus, you guys. All very, very good. Minus the Cap Moon, but Cap is Earth, and that goes great with Taurus. But Cap and Aries don't get along very well. So that's just something to consider. But again, these are all in the without market, without Nelly and Gino markets. Also like Miyu Yamashita, 2150 plus 2150, Leo Sun and Mercury, Capricorn Moon, another Cap Moon, but Cancer Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. That's why I love it. Pisces Midheaven, Sagittarius, Mars. Just, again, another good chart with a lot of good stuff in there. This girl's been trending, and I think she's going to get close this week. Plus 2150, Austin Kim. Leo Sun, Mercury, and Mars. Pisces Moon, Cancer Rising, Aries Midheaven, Virgo Venus, Gemini Jupiter. It's all solid, and I really believe she's going to pop off this week, okay? I also like Aki Iwai at plus 2,300. Cancer Sun, Mars, and Jupiter. Wait, Cancer Sun, Mars, Jupiter, Midheaven. A lot of Cancer in Aki's chart. Taurus Moon, Gemini Mercury, Leo Venus, Libra Rising. And again, if you take one twin, you have to take the other. So I also have Chisato EY as well, because they have the exact same birth chart. The same thing with like the Hoygaard twins and somebody else, I forget. But Chisato is plus 3,100 and Aki is plus 2,300. I'm taking both. Okay. I also like Andrea Lee at plus 2,700. Leo Sun, Mercury, and Venus, Gemini Moon and Midheaven, Virgo Rising, Cancer Mars, Jupiter in Pisces. I'm going to reset my camera one sec because it only records for 30 minutes. So here we go. And we're back. So I just talked about Andrea Lee. plus 2,700. A lot of Leo and Cancer in that chart. And lastly, Lynn Grant, plus 3,800 in the without market. Gemini Sun and Midheaven. Virgo Moon and Rising, Cancer Mercury, Leo Venus, that's why I like her. Libra Mars, Aries Jupiter, also very favorable. It's not like I do love her chart, but like there's a couple of weird things in there, but like Lynn Grant kind of sneaks up and wins tournaments, so I wouldn't be surprised. So again, I'm going Nelly Cordes straight up, outright. And then in the without Nelly and Gino market, it's Lydia Ko, Minji Lee, Haijin Choi, Miyu Yamashita, Austin Kim, both the EY sisters, Andrea Lee, and Lynn Grant. All right, that is less than 10% of the field, I believe. So we're doing good there. Top 5, Nelly Corda, plus 156. Sign me up. Should be pretty easy to get. Top 10, Haijin Choi at plus 196. Minji Lee at plus 188. And Austin Kim at plus 260. I like all three of those. Top 20, I'm going to go Aki Iwai at plus 104. Lynn Grant at plus 146. Ina Yoon at plus 240. Ina Yoon has Taurus, a lot of Taurus in his chart. Her chart in Aries, as well as Leo Jupiter. So she could pop off. And then also Jennifer Kupcho at plus 270, who also has a lot of Taurus and Leo in her chart. I don't know if either of those girls have what it takes to win, though. But we'll see. If they do pop off, maybe I'll have to throw something on them. Just keep an eye out for Ina Yoon and Jennifer Kupcho. All right? And then for first round leader, I like Nelly Corda at plus 1,700 with that Cancer in her chart. Again, we're targeting Aries and Pisces. Granted, now I'm thinking about this. Shoot, they start Thursday. No, I'm sorry. I'm getting the DP World Tour mixed up. Yeah, so they start Thursday under the Aries moon. So Nelly Corda plus 1,700 first round leader. I like that. Austin Kim with all the Leo, Cancer, and Aries in her chart plus 3,800 first round leader. Love that. Miyu Yamashita at plus 4,400. Aki Iwai plus 4,200. Chisato Iwai at plus 5,200. You take one, you got to take the other. Andrea Lee at plus 5,100. And Lynn Grant at plus 5,500. Those are my first round leader plays. Again, 0.1, 0.2 units. Don't go crazy on first round leaders. They're so hard to hit. All right. That is the LPGA. We are moving on to the DP World Tour. We're doing pretty good on time. I'm just going to keep moving. Time flies when you record podcasts, people. It's crazy. All right. DP World Tour, Hainan Classic. This is in China, I believe. This is a tough one. This is tough. They start Wednesday. What time do they start? They start Wednesday at 3:20 p.m. Pacific time tomorrow. So tomorrow afternoon, which is still going to be a double Pisces Sun and Moon, okay? But they will finish under a Taurus Moon Saturday night or Saturday afternoon or whatever. But it's going to be Taurus finish. But they're going to play Pisces, Aries, Taurus. That's how it's going to go. Starting at the top, I usually fade this guy, but I'm actually going to take him this week. Angel Iora at plus 900. Libra Sun, Mercury, Mars, and Jupiter, which I don't love. It's not bad, though. Gemini Moon, Leo Venus is what I like. Sag Rising, Virgo, and Midheaven. So some fire and earth in there as well. Plus 900. It's worth a chance, but, it's just not a good payout. That's the only thing. I also like Nathan Kimsey at plus 2,000. Aries, Sun, Venus, and Midheaven. Cancer, Rising, and Mars. Pisces, Moon, and Mercury. Libra, Jupiter. A lot of Aries, a lot of Cancer. That's all I needed to see, and he's playing good golf. Nathan Kimsey. Also like Eugenio Chikara Lopez at plus 2,150. Aries, Sun, Midheaven, and Mars. Scorpio, Moon. Cancer, Rising. Pisces, Mercury, and Venus. Taurus, Jupiter. I love that. He's a hit or miss, man. He can blow up or he could just lock in. So we'll see how that goes. I like Dan Bradbury. A couple weeks ago he won plus 2,250. Leo Sun, Mercury, and Midheaven. Capricorn Moon, which is a little worrying, but it does go good with the Taurus if he can survive the first few days. Scorpio, Rising, and Mars. Virgo, Venus, some more Earth, and Taurus, Jupiter, some more Earth. So I think he should definitely be in the mix, but we shall see. I also like Grant Forrest at plus 2,500. Gemini Sun, Moon, and Midheaven. Cancer, Mercury, Virgo Rising, Taurus, Venus, Mars, Leo. And a Libra, Jupiter. So He's got the Taurus Venus and the Mars Leo. That's really what I saw, and those are two of the main signs we're looking for. And he has some Gemini Cancer in there. Watch out for Grant Forrest. I also like Marcus Armitage, plus 3,100. Cancer Sun, Mercury, Venus, and Midheaven. So much Cancer in there. Pisces Moon, Libra Rising, Leo Mars, and Aries Jupiter. That's a very, very good chart, you guys. Marcus Armitage. I also have Andy Sullivan here, plus 4,300. Taurus Sun, Venus, and Midheaven. Aquarius Moon. Leo Rising, Gemini, Mercury, Mars, and an Aries Jupiter. Pretty good. Ben Schmidt, plus 4,500. I love this chart. Leo Sun, Mercury, and Mars. Aries Moon, a lot of fire. Taurus Rising, Aquarius Midheaven, that's a little worrying, but Virgo Venus, Cancer Jupiter. Cancer Jupiter is a great placement right now. Watch out for Ben Schmidt. I also have Sean Crocker written down here, plus 4,600. Virgo Sun, Aries Moon, Scorpio Rising, Leo Midheaven, Libra Mercury, Cancer Venus and Mars, Capricorn Jupiter. It's a great chart. This guy, I feel like he never wins, but this could be a week where he finally breaks through. And then I have Aaron Cockerill at plus 6,700 written down here. Taurus Sun and Midheaven, Pisces Moon and Mars, Leo Rising, Aries Mercury and Venus, Virgo Jupiter, plus 6,700. That's a solid freaking chart. He's got, again, 4 of the 6 signs we're really looking for, okay? And then a little longer, but not super long, plus 7,200. Kiridak Afi Barnrat, Leo Sun, Mercury, Venus, and Mars. That's what we're looking for. Pisces Moon, great. Libra Rising, Cancer, Midheaven. It's his career month coming up right now. Gemini Jupiter, that's fine, that's good. Kiridak, I really like that chart this week. And lastly, one long shot who I do believe he's a Chinese golfer, Ashen Wu, plus 11,000. Cancer Sun, Mercury, and Mars. Leo Moon, Virgo Rising, Gemini Midheaven, Taurus, Venus, Aquarius, Jupiter. That's a really good chart as well, so watch out. Okay, so Iota, Kimsey, Chikara, Bradbury, Grant Forrest, Armitage, Sullivan, Ben Schmidt, Sean Crocker, and then Cockerill, Afi Barnrat, and Ashen Wu. I think that's less than 10% of the field, but if it's not, I don't care. Top 5. Dan Bradbury at plus 540. We'll see how that goes. Top 10, Nathan Kimsey at plus 220. Dan Bradbury at plus 255. And Ben Schmidt at plus 450. All top 10, 1 or 2 of those have to hit. Top 20, Ben Schmidt at plus 190. Sean Crocker at plus 200. Manuel Elvera at plus 215. He has a lot of Leo in his chart. No, Taurus in his chart. Taurus, Cancer, and Aries in his chart. If he pops off, I might have to throw something on him too. I left him off because I don't know. I'm not convinced he could do it. But I also like Aaron Cockerill at plus 245 to finish in the top 20. And Kiridak Afi Barnrat at plus 265 to finish in the top 20. Love those. 3 double chance bets. I'm going Angel Iora or Eugenio Chikara at plus 600. That's like a safe bet. I'm going to go Nathan Kimsey or Dan Bradbury at plus 1025. That's also kind of a safe-ish bet. And then here's a little risky one. Ben Schmidt or Sean Crocker at plus 2250. That's a little risky, but I like that. 1 triple chance bet. I'm going to go Andy Sullivan, Sean Crocker, or Jacob Scrivener at plus 1500. Scrivener, or his name Jason Scrivener. He's Aries, Sun, Virgo, Moon, Gemini, Rising, Mars, and Jupiter. Pisces, Midheaven, Taurus, Mercury, and Venus. I was tempted to take him, but we'll see. But I have him in there at least in case he does somehow win it. Top UK/Ireland. I'm going to go Dan Bradbury at plus 610. Top Asian. I'm going to go Kiridak Afi Barnrat at plus 1175. I like that one. Top French. Martin Couvre at plus 310. Top Oceania, I'm going to go Jason Scrivener at plus 225. Top Scottish, Grant Forrest at plus 170. And then top Spanish, Angel Iora at plus 205. Or Manuel Elvera at plus 990. All right. I went through that one pretty quickly, but I'm not going to repeat because we got to move on to the big event this week, the PGA Valspar Championship. So let's get into it, and I'm gonna try to get us down here within the next 15 minutes or less. Okay, real quick. This is really hard. I have so many long shots written down, and I'm gonna mention most of them. and I'm gonna just forewarn you guys. Like, this is more than 10% of the field, because this is I don't really know how this is gonna go this week. I hate a lot of the numbers on most of the favorites. So again, I try to keep it under 10%, but I'm gonna spread my last few units across like literally 9 or 10 guys that are all above plus 10,000 or more. So if you win it, you still get the profit off of it. It's just be smart with how you do it. That's all I'm gonna say. But I'm gonna mention 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 guys who are plus 7,200 or less. Those are my main plays, and then I'm gonna talk about the long shots. You could do with that what you want for DFS, or throw baby units on them, or whatever. But I think a long shot could definitely win it this week. But I gotta talk about the guys at the top. If I had to choose between Fitzpatrick or Hovland, I really have. I mean, they both have a Scorpio rising and a Leo midheaven, and that's Leo again is what we're targeting. But if I had to pick one, I have to go with Fitzpatrick, because he has Cancer, Moon, and Mars in his chart, and that's the favorable career boost. Hovland doesn't have any Cancer in his chart. He does have an Aries moon, but I'm going with Fitzpatrick at the top, plus 1,500. Virgo, Sun, and Mercury. Cancer, Moon, and Mars. Scorpio, Rising, and Jupiter. Leo, Midheaven, Libra, Venus. He could be fatigued after last week. That's why I'm a little worried about him and Vic, to be honest with you, but I don't know. So I just had to write down Fitz at plus 1,500. It is what it is. I'm not too fond of it, but we'll see what happens. Who I am very fond of, who showed out really good the last couple of weeks, or at least last week, was Justin Thomas, plus 2,250. Taurus Sun, Leo Moon, and Mars. Cancer Rising, Aries Midheaven, Mercury, and Venus. Libra Jupiter. That is the ideal chart I could have come up with this week. It's Justin Thomas, and if he wins this week, I won't be surprised. So I'm taking Justin Thomas. I'm also going to go right back to Brooks Koepka, who we did have last week as well, plus 2,600. Taurus, Sun, and Mercury, Virgo, Moon, Cancer, Rising, and Jupiter, Aries, Midheaven, Pisces, Venus, and Mars. It's all great. He's trending in the right direction. This is the kind of field he could win, so watch out for Brooks. I wanted to get to Jordan Spieth. He's still not fully there, in my opinion, but he is a Leo Sun. He does have Cancer, Midheaven, and Mercury, but that's really about it. I'll be upset if he wins, but I don't think he's going to win. But he could win, let's just say that. But I left him off my card. But I did add Ben Griffin to my card, and it's a little worrying because he's kind of all over the place, plus 2,900. Taurus, Sun, Mercury, and Mars. Sagittarius, Capricorn. He's a Sag or a Capricorn moon. I don't exactly know, but it's one of those two. Either if it's okay. I think he's more of a Sag moon, to be honest with you. But he's a Capricorn Jupiter, Venus Gemini, Aries Rising, Capricorn Midheaven. I think I'm not 100% on that. Long story short, he started popping off around this time, especially when the Aries Sun started coming in last year, and he won the Zurich with his buddy Novak. So that was under an Aries Taurus kind of time. So I think I would rather get early on Ben than be late. This next guy, he's had a really rough start and apparently had vertigo, but he's doing a lot better now. It's JJ Spawn at plus 3,000. Leo Sun, Midheaven, and Jupiter, and Venus. So much Leo in his chart. Scorpio Rising, Virgo Moon, and Mercury, some more Earth. Taurus Mars, that's the big one. I really think JJ Spawn is going to have his best week so far this week. Plus 3,000. Next guy, my guy, Nick Taylor, plus 3,700. Aries Sun, Midheaven, and Mercury. Cancer Rising. Taurus, Moon, and Jupiter. Gemini, Venus, Aquarius, Mars. Again, this is the kind of field Nick Taylor could definitely win. And if there's a playoff, I would not bet against that man. So watch out for him. Oh, I got Pendrith and Smotherman written down here, and I really like both. But I left them off for some reason. Pendrith is like a Gemini Sun and Midheaven, Capricorn Moon, Virgo Rising, Taurus Mercury, Cancer Venus, Leo Mars and Jupiter. I might have to add Taylor Pendrith. And Smotherman. Smotherman's a Taurus Sun, Virgo Moon and Rising, Gemini Mercury, Venus and Midheaven, Aries Mars, Jupiter Scorpio. Man, this is so tough, you guys. All right, I'm leaving Smotherman off, and I think I'm going to add Taylor Pendrith. Something just says add Taylor Pendrith. All right, I also like Ricky Castillo at plus 6,100, who won a couple weeks ago. Virgo, Sun, and Mercury, Capricorn Moon, a lot of Earth, Leo, Venus. That's why I like him. Sag, Mars, Cancer, Jupiter, Scorpio Rising, Cancer, Midheaven. Watch out for Castillo. I also like Christian Bezainhout plus 6,600. Taurus, Sun, and Midheaven. Leo, Moon, and Rising. Gemini, Mercury, and Venus. Aries, Mars. Scorpio, Jupiter. I really like Chris Seabass, okay? Also like Max McGreevy at plus 6,800. Taurus, Sun, and Rising. Gemini, Moon, and Mercury. Aquarius, Midheaven. Aries, Venus. Leo, Mars. Sag, Jupiter. He's got a lot of fire deeper in that chart with the Taurus, Sun, and Rising. So watch out for McGreevy. And then I also like Patrick Rogers at plus 7,200. Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Venus. Virgo, Rising, and Jupiter. Gemini, Midheaven. Leo, Mercury. Taurus, Mars. Can this guy win, though? That's always the question with P-Rod. So Fitzpatrick, JT, Koepka, Ben Griffin, JJ Spawn, Nick Taylor, Taylor Pendrith, Castillo, Christian Bezainhout, McGreevy, and Patrick Rogers. Those are my main outrights, okay? Now, the rest of these picks are going to be spread with, like, the last 2 or 3 units I'm going to put on this with, like, 0.0 or 0.1, 0.2, maybe 0.3. But there's so many guys down here that have great big numbers but great charts, so I've got to mention all of them, okay? This is also for DFS if you're playing that this week. Rasmus Niergaard Peterson at plus 10,000 has a solid chart. Cancer, Sun, Pisces, Moon, Leo, Rising, Mercury, and Venus, Gemini, Midheaven, Libra, Mars, Taurus, Jupiter. Love RNP this week, okay? Also like Matt Wallace, plus 12,500. Aries, Sun, Scorpio, Moon, Leo, Rising, Taurus, Midheaven, and Mercury, Pisces, Venus, Aquarius, Mars, Cancer, Jupiter. I also really like S.H. Kim, plus 14,000. Virgo, Sun, Mercury, Venus, and Midheaven. Leo, Moon, and Mars, Sagittarius, Rising, Pisces, Jupiter. He could pop off. I like Chad Ramey, plus 15,500. Leo, Sun, Mercury, Venus. Libra, Moon, and Rising, Cancer, Midheaven, Gemini, Mars, Virgo, Jupiter. I also really like Garrick Higo, plus 16,000. Taurus, Sun, Mercury, and Midheaven, Aries, Moon, and Jupiter. Leo, Rising, Cancer, Venus, Libra, Mars. Granted, a lot of these guys are priced like this because they're not playing that well, but this is the kind of week in field where they can finally step up. So I'm kind of going crazy here. Kevin Yu, plus 18,500. Leo, Sun, Mercury, and Midheaven. Aries, Moon, Scorpio, Rising, Cancer, Venus, and Mars, Pisces, Jupiter. Solid chart. He's just not playing great, but solid chart. Zach Blair, plus 21,000. Leo, Sun, Venus, and Jupiter. Virgo, Moon, and Mercury. Libra, Rising, Cancer, Midheaven. Taurus, Mars. That's an excellent chart. Zach Blair. Takumi Kanaya, plus 21,000 as well. Gemini, Sun, and Midheaven. Aries, Moon, and Venus. Virgo, Rising, Taurus, Mercury, Mars, Pisces, Jupiter. Also, the French golfer Adrien Sadier, plus 24,000. Taurus, Sun, Mercury, Venus, and Midheaven. Scorpio, Moon. Leo, Rising, Aries, Mars, Virgo, Jupiter. There's just so much good stuff in there. I also like David Lipsky at plus 24,000. Cancer, Sun, Mercury, Midheaven. Libra, Rising. Leo, Moon, Gemini, Venus, Aries, Mars, Taurus, Jupiter. And lastly, I like Brian Campbell, plus 72,500. Holy shit. Pisces, Sun, Mercury, Leo, Moon, Cancer, Rising, and Mars, Aries, and Midheaven, Venus, Libra, Jupiter. And just honorable mentions real quick. Webb Simpson has a lot of Leo and Taurus in his chart and Cancer. Svensson has Capricorn, Leo, and Aries. Hubbard has Leo, Taurus, Gemini. Svensson's got Pisces, Cap, Aries, Taurus. Stephen Fisk even has Aries, Sun, Virgo, Gemini, Taurus. Doug Gim, another one, a lot of Aries and Cancer in his chart. Blades Brown has Leo in his chart with some Cancer. It's just so many good names that I don't know. So I feel like I'm not even helping you guys at this point. I'm just saying way too many names. But if I had to, like, absolutely on the top of my brain with a gun pointed at my head, pick 7 golfers right now, I would take JT, I'd take Koepka, I would take Spawn, I'd take Nick Taylor, Seabez, Rasmus Niergaard Peterson, S.H. Kim, and Zach Blair. But you do what you will with that. This is just information that I'm providing for you guys, and you guys kind of have to figure it out for yourself. I'm sorry. This is a tough week, and I'm just trying to get out of here. So real quick, I'm going to go through my positional bets, my fun bets, and I'm going to end this early. Top 5, JT at plus 550. I think that's the one. Also, Brooks Koepka at plus 620. Maybe there's a timeline where they both finish top 5. Hopefully it's this one. Top 10, Nick Taylor plus 365. JJ Spawn at plus 325. And Rasmus Niergaard Peterson at plus 830. That's a little longer shot, but I think he's going to have a good week with all that Leo in his chart. Top 20, Austin Smotherman at plus 205. Seabass at plus 240. Patrick Rogers at plus 280. And RNP, Rasmus Nygaard Peterson at plus 350. Smotherman, Seabass, P-Rod, RNP, all in the top 20. All right. Top 30, Doug Gim at plus 235. Garrett Higo at plus 290. Takumi Kanaya at plus 300. Top 40, Brian Campbell at plus 365. David Lipsky at plus 186. And Zach Blair at plus 172. Double chance bets. I got 5 of them because I hit a couple last week. Fitzpatrick or JJ Spawn at plus 930 is very enticing. JT or Jordan Spieth at plus 1125 is interesting. Brooks Koepka or Ben Griffin at plus 1325 is good. JT or Taylor Pendrith at plus 1375, also really good. And then Nick Taylor or Taylor Pendrith at plus 1850. One of those has to hit. Triple chance. JT, Jordan Spieth, or Brooks Koepka at plus 740. I like that a lot. First round leader. Again, micro units on these ones, don't go crazy. Going JT at plus 3,600. I'm going Brooks Koepka at plus 3,900. Nick Taylor at plus 5,500. I'm going Patrick Cantlay at plus 3,900. He's got an Aries midheaven. Patrick Rogers at plus 7,000. A lot of Cancer in that chart. Max McGreevy at plus 7,000. A lot of fire in that chart. Doug Gim at plus 10,000 with all the Aries he has in his chart. Yes, yes, yes. Rasmus Nygaard Peterson at plus 8,600. And Bo Hostler at plus 11,500, who also has Aries in his midheaven. So a lot of Aries kind of Cancer placements. I'm going after first round leader. Don't go crazy on those. Lastly, lastly, a one head-to-head matchup parlay. I don't take these individually. I just put them all on a parlay, and it comes up to plus 4,500 this week, okay? Smotherman over Davis Thompson. Nick Taylor over Keegan Bradley. Brooks Koepka over Patrick Cantlay. JJ Spawn over Corey Connors. Fitzpatrick over Akshay Bhatia. And Justin Thomas over Jacob Bridgman. I'll parlay that together at plus 4,500. Sign me up. And lastly, top rest of the world. I'm going to go Nick Taylor at plus 620. And I'm going to go Seabass at plus 980. Sorry about that. I got a call. So Nick Taylor and Seabass are my top rest of the world picks. And then top continental European, Rasmus Nygaard Peterson at plus 1,100. All right? Book it. All right. Is that it? That's it. Okay. Yeah. So sorry for being a little over the place today. It's going to be good going forward. Pisces season is wrapping up. Thank God. We're moving into my favorite time of the year, my season, Aries season. So heck yes. And hopefully we get some more winners. We got 4 weeks in a row. If we don't keep it going this week, I'll be okay. We're very much in the profit, so we're doing good. And I'm just trying to spread the love a little bit around this week. So hopefully you guys get some winners as well. Like I said, if you haven't already, please like, share, subscribe on YouTube, follow, and leave a 5-star rating on Spotify. I really appreciate you all. I hope you all stay safe. And best of luck to however you decide to go about it this week. And we will see you next week. All right, you guys, take care. See ya.